see, the new government will have a positive impact on the microfinance sector, as access to finance, especially to the underserved segments of the society, is high on the agenda of the government. Therefore, credit to the micros and SMEs and low-cost housing will be the top priority of the government. Since microfinance companies have their outreach in the far-flung areas of the country, so their importance in achieving the government agenda cannot be undermined. These microfinance companies can play a pivotal role because of their high penetration in the rural and semi-urban areas. Job creation is also a key objective of the new government, which is interlinked with microfinance and financial inclusion. So it is expected that the initiatives taken by the new government will further accelerate the development of microfinance sector in Pakistan. In order to ensure smooth transition of microfinance institutions into microfinance companies, SECP has undertaken significant regulatory reform in the areas pertaining to microfinance companies. The main objective of this reform process was to promote ease of doing business for the microfinance companies and to improve access to finance for the small and micro enterprises and individual proprietors who are undertaking small businesses. There were a lot of regulatory challenges and bottlenecks during this transition process, but these were accordingly removed and modified by SECP. Like, we have allowed the existing Section 42 companies to be licensed as microfinance companies. We have reduced the minimum equity requirement for microfinance companies from 100 million rupees to 50 million rupees. We have also reduced the registration and licensing fee for the microfinance companies to 50%. The Section 42 companies which are operating in the microfinance business as not as their ancillary business are exempt from the certain requirements of rules and regulations, and microfinance companies are required to invest 50% of their assets in their core business as compared to requirement of 70% for the other NBFCs. Similarly, couple of amendments are in the process of approval with the federal government. Like, we have recommended that those microfinance institutions which have less than 5,000 borrowers and outstanding microfinance portfolio of rupees 50 million may be exempted from the licensing requirement. Similarly, we have also recommended that microfinance companies may be allowed to form non-financial subsidiaries which will complement their welfare activities. So I am pleased to share with you that the microfinance sector is quite supportive of this regulatory change and has shown positive approach towards the regulatory framework. This is evident from the fact that more than 50% of the microfinance providers are now compliant with the new regulatory regime. Regulatory history of microfinance is not very old in Pakistan. The microfinance became a regulated activity in 2001 after promulgation of the Microfinance Ordinance. However, microfinance sector has shown a remarkable growth over a period of time. In 2005, there were only 500,000 active microfinance borrowers and loan portfolio of rupees 5 billion only, whereas today we have more than 6 million active microfinance borrowers and loan portfolio of around 240 billion rupees, which is a compound annual growth rate of almost 35%. So this is a remarkable achievement. In Pakistan, non-bank microfinance institutions remain unregulated till 2015. So there was a regulatory vacuum that held back the growth of this sector. This vacuum needed to be filled, and I am pleased to say that SECP filled this regulatory vacuum for the development of microfinance sector. In the current regulatory regime, we have introduced detailed guidelines for providing finance to the poor persons and micro entities, including conduct requirements for the financiers. Other measures include exposure limits as well as implementation of the pricing policy. Recently, SECP has drafted a grievance redressal mechanism for the microfinance companies in consultation with PMN and World Bank and all the market participants. So as a result of all these initiatives, Microfinance sector is no better regulated than before, and it has strengthened the confidence of the borrowers and the donors as well. SECP is aware of the challenges being faced by the microfinance providers. The cost of borrowing for the small borrowers is high as compared to other financial products. Currently, PMIC, Pakistan Microfinance Investment Company, is in operation and is looking after the funding appetite for the microfinance companies as well as for the microfinance banks. We understand that PMIC can play an important role in solving this problem by tapping the capital markets through securitization of receivables by issuing bonds and raising funds from the capital market. There are some other challenges which are hampering the growth of microfinance in Pakistan, like internal weaknesses of the microfinance companies, low standards of corporate governance, high operation cost, high interest rates, inadequate product innovation, and lack of digital payment network. In spite of all these challenges, SECP is firmly committed to facilitate this sector. SECP and PMN are working closely for the development of microfinance sector. SECP has collaborated on several initiatives with PMN for the sector development. We hold regular meetings with PMN for addressing their concerns and issues regarding the regulatory and operational framework of microfinance companies. SECP and PMN can work closely for the development of market like financial literacy and consumer protection and capacity building of the microfinance industry and arranging funding for the market through bilateral and multilateral agencies and knowledge management activities such as industry level reports and joint research and introduction and implementation of the digital platform for the microfinance sector. I am hopeful that with these initiatives there will be an entrepreneurial spirit among the underserved segment of our society. It will create jobs and it will reduce poverty and it will improve access of finance to the micro and small entities.
In your view, what are the challenges faced by the microfinance providers currently?
SECP is fully aware of the challenges that are being faced by the microfinance providers. The cost of borrowing for the small borrowers is high as compared to other financial products. Currently, PMIC, Pakistan Microfinance Investment Company, is in operation and is also looking after the funding appetite for the microfinance companies in addition to the microfinance banks. We understand that PMIC can solve this problem by tapping the capital market from the capital market. There are some other challenges that are hampering the growth of microfinance sector, such as internal weaknesses of the microfinance companies, manpower shortage, and need for the capacity building, low standards of corporate governance, and high operation cost, high interest rate, and inadequate product innovation. In spite of all these challenges, SECP is fully committed to support the microfinance sector.